Hello everybody at home. Today we are going to do another fun challenge, and it's with items that you hopefully have around your house. I posted a picture of these items onto Google Classroom, but I also sent you an email, so hopefully you were able to gather these items before seeing this video, just to save some time. But I'm going to go over them right now, and then I'll tell you why we need them. So you need a pair of socks. They don't have to match, but as long as they're the same size. You need a paper plate. The larger the paper plate, the better. A spatula, either plastic or metal, whichever one you might have in your kitchen, and some tape. I found a roll of this pretty cool sports duct tape. If you have some duct tape, that would be the best because it's strong. But as long as you have some type of strong tape, you should be able to do this. So first I'll show you how we are going to construct our paddle. So I want you to flip the paper plate over so that it's flat and have the spatula come on the end just like this so it's flat against the paper plate. And you're going to use the tape to tape the spatula to the plate. Ta-da! So now we have a paddle. Now with the socks. If you can't find a pair of socks quickly, or if you have a small bean bag, that would work fine, but the reason why we're going to use socks is because not everybody has a bean bag at home. So with these socks, you're going to make something that kind of resembles a bean bag. So I want you to put the two pairs of socks together. You're going to fold them together halfway. Then you're going to put your fingers inside the part that you folded already to fold it one more time. And then it's almost flat and it kind of feels like a beanbag in your hands. So once you have those items, get ready for a few rounds of some different challenges that we're going to try together. If you have any questions on this, feel free to email me. I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Won't be as quick as before because I'll still have some of your classmates in person working with them in my gym, but I will do my best. So put these items together. You can pause this video while you're doing that, then come back, push play, and get started for round one of today's challenge. All right, hopefully you were able to assemble all of these items and gather them. I'm going to explain how this is going to work before I get into round one. I'm going to demonstrate the challenge. Then once I demonstrate it, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to practice that round of the challenge. After you practice it, then I'm going to put the 1 minute timer up on this video, and you have 1 minute to do the challenge as many times as you can. And I want you to try to keep track of these because I'll have you fill them in on the Google form. So hopefully if you have a little piece of paper around, you can just write down challenge one, how many you got, and keep going throughout the challenge. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds of this challenge to do. So if you have a piece of paper handy, that'll be pretty easy for you to just write down how many as you keep track. So let's get started. Round one of this challenge. You're going to hold the paddle in whatever hand you want. It's totally up to you. I'm going to hold it in my weaker hand, just to make it a little bit harder. So I'm holding the paddle in my weaker hand, and I have the socks in my stronger hand. So what I'm going to do is toss it to catch it on my paddle. And once I catch it, I'm going to toss it back to catch it on my stronger hand. So toss it and catch it on the plate, then toss it to catch it in my hand. And I'm just going to keep going back and forth, following the socks or the beanbag, whatever you're able to use, as you're going back and forth. So we're going to do this for 30 seconds. Everyone ready? I'm going to set my timer in 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds of practice. Just going back and forth. Follow it with your eyes to keep contact. You'll notice that the lighter you toss it, the easier it is to follow with your eyes for hand-eye coordination, but also it's easier for you to keep it under control. All right, 30 seconds is up. I'm gonna put the timer on for 1 minute. See how many times you can toss it back and forth. Write down how many you get at the end of that minute. The timer will go off. You'll hear the chime when the timer's over. Do the best that you can. Have some fun with this. So doing this challenge of tossing from the plate to your hand back and forth for 1 minute. Ready, set, go. Welcome back. Hopefully you had fun with round 1. We're going to move right on to round 2. For round 2, you are going to hold the paddle in your stronger hand. So if you can't remember what your stronger hand is, it's the hand that you do the most with. So you throw a ball with this strong hand. You hold a pen or a pencil in this strong hand. You color with the strong hand. You hold a paintbrush in the strong hand. Figure out which hand is your strong hand, and that's the hand your paddle goes in, okay? You're only using that hand for this round. So your other hand, you could even put it behind your back to make it so that you're not gonna be tempted to use it in this round of the challenge. So again, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds, but I'm gonna show you it first. So with your strong hand, the paddle's in your hand, you're gonna toss it and catch it. Just in this hand, going up and down, up and down, okay? So I'm gonna give you 30 seconds to practice this before I put the minute timer up. Let me get my timer out. In 3, 2, 1, 30 seconds of practice. Nice and gentle. Follow it with your eyes. It makes it easier to watch the sock or the beanbag as you're going to catch it. If you do it too high, it'll make it a little bit more difficult. So just try to keep it just above your head or just at your head as you're flipping. 5 more seconds of practice. I almost dropped it. Okay, timer's off. Now I'm gonna put 1 minute for a timer up on the screen again. Do your best at this. Remember, it's your strong hand. You can probably already figure out what we're gonna do for the next challenge, but let's focus on the stronger hand first. 1 minute up on the timer. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go. And welcome back again. I hope you had fun using your stronger hand. And if you could figure out, now we're going to do the same thing but with our weaker hand. So some people are what they call ambidextrous, which means that both hands are kind of equally as strong, which isn't super common, but a lot of people are able to do the same thing with both hands. So that might be the case for some of you. So you're going to hold the paddle in your weaker hand, put your stronger hand behind your back. Remember, just to avoid trying to use that hand. So you're doing the same thing, tossing it up and catching it. This might feel a little funny because if this is your weaker hand, you're not used to doing a lot of things with that hand. So you're going to do the same thing, tossing it. I'm going to set the timer again for 30 seconds to do some practice. In 3, 2, 1, go. Nice and gentle, especially if this does feel a little funny. I dropped it. See, it's even a little hard for me. I'm not used to doing things with my left hand. 8 more seconds of practice. Okay, timer's off. So maybe this was a little more challenging for you. Maybe it was the same as your strong hand. I'm going to put the minute timer up on the screen. Once you see it, you can get started. And don't forget to keep writing them down if you're keeping track. So 1 minute up on the screen, tossing and catching with your weak hand. Ready, set, go. All right, we are moving right along to our 4th challenge. I think you guys are going to have some fun with the 4th and the 5th for sure. What you're going to do with this challenge, you can pick whichever hand you want to hold the paddle in. I'm going to hold it in my right hand, but if you want to hold it in your left hand, feel free, it's your choice. You're going to start with the socks on your paddle. What you're going to do is toss it under your leg and up so you can catch it in the other hand. So that counts as 1. Put it back on the paddle, under your leg and catch, back in the paddle, under your leg and catch. So I'll give you 30 seconds to practice that, but remember, hold it in the plate, go under your leg, and you want to toss it up. So make sure you're reaching under your leg and up. This also works on your balance since you have to lift your leg and put the paddle and the socks underneath. So one more time before I let you practice, whatever hand you choose, you lift that same side's leg up. So if I have it in my right hand, I'm lifting my right leg. I'm lifting it up and catching it in my opposite hand. So let me get the timer for 30 seconds. In 3, 2, 1, go. 30 seconds of practice. Keep your eye on it. You can get into a groove as you're going through it. Halfway done with practice. 10 more seconds. Do it nice and gently. Okay, timer's off. So 1 minute of this challenge. Remember, go nice and gentle as you go through. I know you're probably going to want to go really fast because this is a fun challenge, but take your time, find a groove, and you're going to do this for 1 more minute. Ready, set, go. Okay, so like I always like to do, I like to make things a little bit more challenging with you guys, just so you can push yourself to try new things. So in that last challenge, you flipped it under your leg and you caught it in your hand. But now I'm gonna make it a little bit harder. So again, you can pick whichever hand you wanna hold the paddle in, it's your choice. But just like we did in some of the previous challenges, you are not using your other hand at all. So if you want to keep it behind your back, you can, or if you think you can just keep it by your side without touching anything, feel free to do that, whatever you're more comfortable with. So what you're going to do in this challenge is just like before, but instead of catching it in your hand, you're catching it on the paddle. So you're going to toss it under and then catch with the paddle. Under and catch with the paddle. So for this one, to give you a little bit more time, you want to toss it up a little bit higher, just so that you can get the plate back under the other side of your leg to get it in front to catch it. So I'll show you one more time before I give you some practice. Whatever hand you want to choose, under the leg, toss and catch. Under the leg, toss and catch. So let me get the timer up again. In 3, 2, 1, go. If you need to switch sides, maybe your leg's getting tired, feel free to switch sides. This is the practice round, so see which leg feels better, see which arm feels better. Oop, almost missed it. 10 more seconds of practice. Ooh, I got that one. Okay, timer's off. Now I'm going to put the 1 minute timer on the screen. Remember, like I said, hopefully you were trying to figure out which hand or which leg feels better. If you need to pause this video at all because maybe your leg's starting to hurt, pause the video. I don't want you guys stressing out about this. I just want you having fun. But give this challenge a try for 1 minute. See how many times you can toss it under your leg and still catch it on the plate. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we have 2 more challenges to do. They're kind of similar, just like the last 2 were. But for this one, again, choose which hand you want to hold the paddle in. Start with the socks on top of the paddle. You are going to toss it gently behind your back to catch it in your opposite hand. Okay, this is going to be challenging, but again, I want it to be something fun. I love having challenges thrown at you guys and just seeing you smile and laugh. That means the world to me. So hopefully you guys are having a lot of fun with this and you're not getting frustrated with yourself, because that's not what I want to happen. I want you to try new things. I want you to have fun, especially with some silly things that you find around your house. So you're holding it in whatever hand you want, and I'll demonstrate a few times before I start the 30-second timer. So you have it in your hand on the paddle, toss it behind your back, catch it with your other hand, put it back on the paddle. Toss it, catch it, toss it, catch it. You want to go slow with this so that you can make sure you can concentrate as you're moving through it. So I'll show you 2 more times before I start the 30-second practice timer. Toss it, catch it, toss it, catch it. So now I'll start the 30 seconds for practice. Make sure you have some space for this. In 3, 2, 1, go. Nice and gentle, nice and soft. If you do it too hard or too high, chances are you probably won't be able to catch it as well. Just go nice and easy. I dropped it. 5 more seconds of practice. Grab that one. Okay, that was at 30 seconds. Again, I'll put the 1-minute timer up. Do your best at this, have some fun with it. Go nice and easy. If you rush yourself, you're probably not going to be able to catch it as well. So just take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. 1-minute timers are going to be up on the screen. Ready, set, go. All right, we made it to our 7th and final challenge. For this challenge, you're going to do something very similar to the last one, around your back to catch it, but instead of catching it in your hand, you're catching it with the paddle. So just like we did before, you're catching it like we did before under your leg to catch it with the paddle, but this time it's around your back to catch it with the paddle. So be careful with this one. Make sure you have open space like I always remind you about. I'll demonstrate it before I set the timer. I'll demonstrate it a few times. So again, whichever hand you want to use. I'm going to hold it in the paddle. I flip it around my back. That was a bad first example. Flip it around my back and then catch it in the paddle. Flip it around my back, catch it with the paddle. Again, if you can just keep your arm by your side without trying to catch it, feel free to do that, or put it behind your back. So flip it, catch it, flip it, catch it, flip it, catch it, flip it, catch it. Okay, so this does take a lot of concentration. I want you guys to try your best. I'll start the 30-second timer to practice. In 3, 2, 1, go. Whoops. Good thing this is practice, right? halfway done with practice. Go nice and easy. Follow it with your eyes. I messed up. 3 seconds. Okay, there's the timer. Now I'm gonna put the last minute timer up on the screen. So once again, take your time with this. Make sure you're having fun. Make sure you're doing this with a smile on your face. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you guys having fun trying new things, like I keep saying. 1 minute timer is gonna be up on the screen. After you do this challenge, again, make sure you're writing it down if you're keeping track. Then at the end of this video, make sure you go back into Google Classroom to fill out the Google form as your exit ticket for this activity. I hope you guys enjoyed this activity. I hope you had fun with it. I hope you learned something new. And now you may even be able to have your family join you in a challenge if you're ever looking for something to do at home. So for the last time, 1 minute timer up on the screen for your last challenge of the day. In 3, 2, 1, go!